A single dark cloud gathered over the vast green prehistoric valley. Our early ancestors looked up as the first heavy droplets hit. To us, a week of rain is merely an annoying inconvenience, but to a Stone Age tribe it was a deadly emergency. How did they survive when the entire world turned to mud? Their first and most critical challenge was protecting the fire. Without matches, losing a fire meant freezing in the dampness. They quickly gathered dry wood and moved it deep inside. But caves were not always empty or safe to occupy. Fierce predators also sought refuge from the relentless downpour. A desperate battle for dry shelter frequently took place. If the cave was occupied, they had to build quickly. They layered sloped roofs with broad, waxy monstera leaves. By day 3, the forest floor became completely saturated. This meant their usual ground-dwelling prey disappeared entirely. Small animals hid deep inside hollow logs and burrows. Larger herbivores retreated to the safety of dense thickets. Standard hunting methods became completely useless in the storm, so ancient humans had to pivot to alternative food sources. Rainy weather actually brought out an abundance of snails. Gathering these slow mollusks required very little energy. Mushrooms also sprouted rapidly across the damp forest floor, but foraging for fungi in the dark was highly risky. One wrong bite of a toxic species could end badly. Meanwhile, the rising river levels offered a different opportunity. Swollen banks pushed fish into shallower, slower-moving streams. Hunters constructed primitive stone traps along the shoreline. They harvested disoriented fish with bare hands and spears. This surplus of seafood kept hunger at bay temporarily, but high humidity brought another major problem: damp hides. Wet leather clothing began to rot and smell terrible. They used smoke from fire to cure and dry skins. This process also acted as a natural bug repellent. By day 5, cabin fever began to set in. Sitting in a dark cavern for days was mentally exhausting. To pass the time, they turned to creative expression. They mixed red ochre with animal fat for paint. These cave paintings recorded their most successful past hunts. Storytelling became a vital way to keep spirits high. Younger generations learned essential survival lore during these storms. They carved intricate designs into bone and wooden tools. This downtime was perfect for repairing damaged hunting gear. Every hunter knew that preparation now meant success later. Outside, the relentless rain began to cause land movements. Landslides blocked their familiar forest trails and paths. Navigating the landscape became an entirely new puzzle. But the rain also washed away their human scent. This odor mask allowed hunters to sneak closer to prey. The soft, muddy ground also muffled their footsteps perfectly. They used the white noise of rain to plan ambushes. By day 6, fresh drinking water was everywhere. They did not have to walk to dangerous rivers. Predators near waterways were a constant deadly threat. Collecting water from camp kept the vulnerable tribe safe. However, the damp air brought a rise in joint pain. The tribal medicine expert prepared warm herbal teas. They boiled willow bark, which contained natural pain relievers. Sharing warm drinks strengthened the tribe's social bonds. But the constant rain also meant limited physical movement. To burn energy, kids played simple indoor games. Adults practiced rhythmic drumming on taut animal skins. Music helped mask the frightening sounds of thunder. By day 7, the rain finally began to slow. The tribe eagerly stepped out of their dark shelter. They breathed in the fresh, clean forest air. But the landscape they knew had changed completely. The storm had triggered a massive vegetation boom. Fresh, tender green shoots covered the valley floor. This abundance of food attracted large herbivore herds. The hunters prepared for a highly anticipated hunt. The damp, soft earth held perfectly clear animal tracks. Tracking prey became easier than ever before. They followed the fresh prints deep into the valley. They spotted a massive aurochs feeding on green shrubs. Working as a team, they surrounded the large beast. With a coordinated strike, the hunt was successful. They carried the heavy harvest back to camp. The entire tribe celebrated their return with joy. The wet clay gathered during the storm was useful too. They baked the clay pots in the hot campfire. These pots allowed them to store future rainwater efficiently. They also collected pliable birch bark peeling off wet trees. Wet bark was incredibly easy to bend and shape. These containers became essential lightweight storage for foraging. The storm had pushed them to innovate and adapt. Ancient humans did not just survive the rain, they thrived. Every storm tested their resilience and tribal unity. They learned to read the sky's changing mood. This deep environmental knowledge was passed down for generations. Because in the Stone Age, nature was the ultimate teacher. Each raindrop brought challenges, but also brought new life. They emerged from their shelters stronger and more skilled. Their tools were better and their bonds were tighter. and they were fully prepared for the next big storm. Their descendants would carry this adaptability across the globe, because surviving the elements made us who we are today. We are the children of those who braved the storms. They conquered the wet, the cold, and the dark, and they did it all with stone, fire, and determination. Their incredible legacy continues to live on within us all.